I'm 20NEJAD at UCLA, where service workers walk off the job. That story coming up. Authorities have indicated that a possible spy swap in exchange for the 10 Russian spies for 4 U.S. spies now incarcerated in Russia may be in the cards. It's at 15 UC campuses across the state, with more than 6,000 union members walking off the job. They also determined that a macroburst, a sudden burst of wind coming from a thunderstorm, may have also contributed to much of the devastation we see here in Brooklyn. I had a chance to speak to some residents about the cleanup over the weekend. Russian spies reminiscent of the 1950s in our own backyard. That story coming up. A new video obtained by New York One is shedding some light on the Manhattan woman nabbed as part of the alleged Russian spy ring.
My name is Anna Chapman.
The video of Anna Chapman was shot during a workshop for aspiring entrepreneurs.
This was a woman that, like many of the entrepreneurs that I had met for this project, was sly, was able to connect with people and even manipulate people, knew her agenda, and clearly had some sort of agenda going on beneath what she was talking about.
I launched this business purely because I wanted to help someone.
Federal authorities say Chapman was part of a group of spies whose mission it was to infiltrate U.S. policymaking circles. Investigators believe Chapman sent encoded messages through a laptop to a Russian counterpart while visiting a Barnes & Noble in Tribeca and a Starbucks in Midtown.
When I heard that she was allegedly a Russian spy, I thought, well, you know what, that's not that surprising.
10 people were arrested on Monday in a sweep conducted by the FBI, and Chapman and 8 others will go before a judge on Thursday. If convicted of espionage and money laundering charges, most of the defendants could spend up to 20 years behind bars. Authorities have indicated that a possible spy swap in exchange for the 10 Russian spies for 4 U.S. spies now incarcerated in Russia may be in the cards. That decision to be handed down in the next few days. From Lower Manhattan, I'm 20NEJAD, New York One. This is the sound of people demanding change. Hundreds of union members walking off the job.
And we're going to fight.
Head negotiator for the union, Patrick Williams, says he's fed up with UCLA.
This is not acceptable for the University of California that is here to serve our people. We see our executive make 5 and 6 and 7 and 900,000. While the low-wage workers make $10 an hour.
With over 6,000 members, the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees plans to picket for the next 5 days. Their goal, to increase union wages and benefits. Chief Medical Officer of UCLA Hospital, Dr. Tom Rosenthal, says he will negotiate as long as union members follow protocol.
We think that it's important that they have a fair and equitable solution to their wage issues. We prefer that they, however, do that through the negotiating process than on the streets.
But the strike isn't just here at UCLA. It's at 15 UC campuses across the state, with more than 6,000 union members walking off the job. Some union members say the strike could compromise patient care over the next several days. That remains to be seen, but Adrienne Shelton, a nurse at UCLA Hospital, says this walkout was a long time coming.
UCLA knew the strike was coming. They should have made do. But at the same time, UCLA has spent all this unnecessary money to get security for this strike, but they don't want to give a raise. Do the math. Does that make sense?
Crackling trees, a green sky, and over 150-mile-per-hour winds stopped parts of Brooklyn and Queens in its tracks on Thursday. Many people ran for shelter when 2 tornadoes ripped their roofs off and the foundation of 100-year-old trees.
The water just started really hard, and then all of a sudden it was like black. It was like really dark gray, and everything, it was like I felt like I was in a human car wash.
I've seen very close. I've seen the sky go green before, but not this serious.
Prospect Park in Brooklyn and Middle Village, Queens took the brunt of the high winds, leaving many neighborhoods in complete disarray. One death resulted from the tornadoes as a tree fell onto a car of 30-year-old Lavakis Lynn, while her passenger received only minor injuries. After a survey of the damage, the Office of Emergency Management determined that what was thought to be a severe thunderstorm turned out to be much more.
It actually produced 2 tornadoes, 1 touchdown in Brooklyn. That was the first, a weaker tornado. The second one touched down in Queens.
Brooklynites and Queens residents didn't waste any time waiting for cleanup crews. They rolled up their sleeves and started sawing, chopping, and sweeping their way back to what once was a picture-perfect neighborhood. And the cleanup here in Prospect Park might take weeks. That according to FEMA, who did their survey damage over the weekend. Many residents are trying to lend a helping hand to make sure that life gets back to business as usual. That's the latest here from Prospect Park. 20NEJAD, New York 1.